I like this question. Amanda, who is also a Patreon patron.
She does Twitch streams too, I think.
Oh, really?
Manually?
Oh, it is that Amanda.
I was gonna say something about that actually. I saw that she is a patron, and I think that is very cool because she does other streaming as well. She's a big Nintendo nerd.
I love it.
She was on the podcast a long time ago.
She was, yes.
That was before me.
Her question I really like. She asks, which theory did Nintendo confirm that you hate? So a theory that you hate that Nintendo confirmed. So mine is the theory that Miyamoto is Bowser Jr.'s mom.
Why did Nintendo confirm that?
Because
it was just Miyamoto joking around.
Miyamoto joked, but he said yes. Or he said it was. They asked who is Bowser Jr.'s mom, and he's just.
That's funny. I remember that.
That was a joke answer for this question, and a joke answer about a joke answer. Theory Nintendo confirmed that you hate.
I don't really like the Mario 3 was a play.
Oh really?
Yeah, like they confirmed that.
And the same time that
like it's an interesting idea, but I just like the idea of it being a game more than being a play, because now that it's a play, and Zelda and everyone has pictures of them in the castle, it's like was it a play for Hyrule? Why do they have? And then was Malin, or not Malin, but Ingle and what's his name? The Lon Lon Ranch guys.
Talon.
Ingle and Talon?
Ingo, yeah.
Yeah, Ingo and Talon. Okay, so they are lookalikes or whatever. They're supposed to resemble Mario and Luigi. So I wonder if they were the ones who played them in the stage play, and then it's the pictures of them on the wall or something. I don't know. But if you put the theories together, because one of them was confirmed, you have to be like, well, who was it a stage play for? And
see, I don't know. I don't subscribe to that theory either, really, even if it's technically confirmed, because it's just it's just an aesthetic choice in the game, what the theory is based off of, and I don't know, but there's not that many theories that Nintendo has really officially confirmed
or debunked.
There's a lot that they don't really even just don't really acknowledge.
The fourth Triforce one they debunked.
They debunked that one. I think there was one that I had in my. Oh yeah, you know what? The Triforce Heroes being the same Link as A Link Between Worlds. I actually don't like that theory. It's fine, but for me, it's he went on this quest, he defeated Ganon, and then he just ditched all his Link clothes and took off to another kingdom to go save the princess of that kingdom from poor fashion choices and from being trapped in a leotard, and I just think it just is better as a standalone game, and especially because they changed Link's design to look more like Toon Link. And so it's okay, this is the same Link, but he also looks completely different, and the game has a really different tone to it, and I just prefer those two games. I don't dislike either of them. I really love A Link Between Worlds, and I never finished Triforce Heroes because I meant to play that with friends, and I don't have friends, so I just feel those two games should just be stand alone from each other and not be connected. But they decided that was the case. They backpedaled on it. First they said no, then they said yes. So
big oof.
That's mine.
Do you have any theories, Choops, that they either
I can't think of any
Legend
of Zelda ones, but I think didn't they confirm that Mario's surname was Mario?
I think they said that Mario doesn't really have a surname, that he's just Mario, was their official answer. It's just he's just Mario.
There's the the Toad's hat thing.
The Toad's Toad's head is just, that's his head. The Toad's hat thing was...
Sorry, when you said the Toad's head thing, it made me think of the Kirby not wearing shoes thing. No.
I don't know what that is.
Now all I see are Kirby toes. Just Google it. Kirby not wearing shoes.
Yeah, Google that. You'll hate it. It's one of those, thanks, I hate it.
Yep.
Alright. Choops, do you have, we'll do 2 more questions, I guess. Do you have a
I'm away
quick
from my
one to chat,
computer now,
Choops?
so now I don't have. I can't pick any
Daniel,
questions.
Are there any people in the live chat or another Patreon that you can pick a question?
Yes, there is another Patreon question from Halo Justin. If you could insert yourself into any Zelda game, what game would it be? What character would you be? Or would you be just yourself, excluding Zelda, Link, and Ganon / main villain? I will be Beetle. That's in all the Zelda games. That's
You'll be Beetle. You're gonna show
I'll
up
be
cold
Beetle.
uninvited.
There's a great picture someone drew of me. I think it might have been Tevi. I'm gonna double check that. Of me
I remember that.
as Beetle, and I love it.
Me, definitely Midna, Twilight Princess. Heck, yeah. She's a jerk, but she has this like backstory. I would want to be her.
It was Budrick Bud Porter, this fellow, who sent me that drawing. Ooh, there it is.
Nice.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, he drew this picture. That's me.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh, perfect.
Beetle.
I loved that.
I do too. This was before I was wearing glasses, but
You could probably
Yes,
send that
I could-
to oh gosh, I forgot his
who?
name.
what?
I forgot his name for a second. I feel so bad.
And the
Jonathan,
chat
that was it.
I need to get myself a GameOverJesse shirt.
Oh, Jonathan.
Yeah, you could send it to Jonathan to color. Like he
Oh,
colored
yeah.
the one of all of us and drew the one of all of us. So like you could send that to him and he could like ink over or trace over the lines and then add in colors and stuff and make it look super duper cool.
So you trace? I feel like this is going into another Kevin Smith reference.
I was watching Chasing Amy earlier, and there's that scene where that guy and Ben Affleck are at the table. And I
Yeah.
was like, so you're a tracer.
So you
It's like, no, I'm an inker. I give it shade and detail.
yeah.
It's like,
oh,
yeah, but you still trace the lines. You're a tracer.
those movies are great, but not very kid friendly. But yes, Jesse, who would
I would love to do a Bergerson as Beetle shirt design. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who would you be, Jesse? Yeah, I'm over Jippy.
So we can't be Zelda. What about Sheik?
Zelda is chic.
Yeah, but like,
So
That's such a
excluding
rip-off
Zelda,
answer.
Link, and
no, because like
Ganon.
I would want to
Zelda.
go. Oh,
You
I
can't
wanna
be
know-
Sheik because that's Zelda.
okay.
Yeah.
That means that you also can't pick Tetra.
I just
That's
wanted
true.
to know what she. I want to know what she did in that 7 years.
Then you can be Impa. I feel like they stayed in touch.
Impa definitely trained Sheik, so
Yeah. Like they stayed
That
in
way-
touch because Sheik knew when Impa went to the Shadow Temple. So they were definitely colluding, you know.
and Impa definitely would have trained Sheik, so you would have seen a lot of Sheik's life through Impa.
Yeah. We're just sitting for you.
Yeah,
The vote's
that would. Okay, Impa. Or alternatively, if like the world's ending anyway, just the fishing man, because like he's like everyone is like super sad and stuff in Ocarina of Time. Like Hyrule Castle's destroyed, Zora's domain's frozen over, Lake Hylia is dried up. There's monsters in the magical forest. So like everything's completely destroyed, and then Kakariko catches on fire. But the fishing guy's just like, well, I'm
Living
just
my life,
sitting here fishing. Oh, we do.
wearing no pants.
$2.
Yes. $2
Top two-
says. Read it, Jesse.
Sorry.
Read
top
it.
2 explanation. top 2 expectations for Link's Awakening. New dungeon for me.
Oh yeah.
Fishing pond. If they can add 2 to Majora's Mask, they can add 1 to Link's Awakening.
That's a good point. 2 expectations. So there you go. There was 2 right there. Fishing pond and new. Like I want to say like there's the photography, the camera guy.
Yeah.
So they have like a bunch of photos that you can get through it, but I feel like adding more photos or more things you can do with the camera, because like in the last couple, like Wind Waker HD and now Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, like they've been putting a lot of like camera features into the games. Pretty much Splatoon 2's amiibo functionality is completely based off taking screenshots. Like, so I feel like building more of that functionality into it somehow, in some way that's really creative, would be neat. Even if it actually brings it down to, like in Pikmin 3, the camera feature in that game brings the camera into like the character's perspective, when most of the game is like a top-down perspective. And then the camera, you can take photos from the character's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. So even something like that would be really neat for Link's Awakening. And selfies, of course, with Link. So, yeah, that's mine. That's my guess. There you go. There's 3 for the price of 2, David.
Yes, thank you for your super chat. Were we ready for the next question?
Yeah, we got questions. Did you want to pick one, Jesse?
No, just like Shigeru Miyamoto's in the chat.
Oh, I need your location.
It is. I live at 123 Fake Street.
Actually, here's a true story. An address I used to live at was 123.
Nice.
At a street in the city I live on, but it was 123, and I always find that really funny. But.
Yes, ye old 123.
You need our location. It's I think the Nintendo ninjas are.
That sounds about right.
Too much information.
Live chat, George question. Like literally just now came in.
George, if the new Zelda game had traditional dungeons, what new, never before used themes would you give to one of those dungeons? Possible environmental puzzles, including and maybe locations in the region. Okay, I got one. In like some Zelda games, we've seen like the 2 world sort of system. You know, where like a Link to the Past, you go to Dark World and Light World, and Ocarina of Time, you go 7 years back and forth, right? And they kind of start using that at the end of Ocarina of Time, where you have to do the Spirit Temple in 2 halves. So one is Young Link, one is Adult Link. But having a way in a Zelda game where you build in that 2 world system right into the nitty-gritty fine details of the dungeon would be really cool to see. And I think the closest we've gotten to that is probably one of the older games, but I still don't think that was even really used in the dungeons, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was more used in the overworld. So something like that, where you're having to go between the 2 worlds, switching between them in the dungeon itself, would be really cool. Yeah, that's mine. That's my answer.
I like. So there's 2 things. Skyward Sword did both of these, and I think there was another game that did one as well. But like the sand ship, and then the.
Oh, you're right. The
Leneru mining facility.
You're right.
And the Leneru mining facility as well.
They do that in 2 dungeons.
But I like the idea of.
I'm so stupid.
Mixing themes. So there's no Shadow Temple in Skyward Sword, but there's like 2 water temples. And one of the water temples, the Ancient Cistern, is like half water, half shadow. So it's like there's the water temple with all of the water puzzles and stuff. And then there's the Shadow Temple with all of like the zombie boblins and stuff. So I like that idea. It'd be really cool to see what they could do with a half fire, half water dungeon, like in A Link Between Worlds when you would use the ice rod or something on the lava. It would make a platform. Or in Wind Waker you could throw the jars of water and it would make rock that you could jump on for the platform. So I would really like to see like flowing lava going through somewhere and you can't get on it, but then if you go and like use the water stuff, then like the water could flood over the lava and now you have a pathway to get back to where you need to go, because it would like harden into rock. So like if it was half fire, half dungeon, so you could do more of that stuff like throwing the pots or using the wand to make platforms on the lava. I think that would be really, really cool. So like mixing dungeon themes instead of just giving us one. That would, yeah. Which is almost like what you said too. But instead of mixing themes, you mixed realities.
Yeah, yours was a more elemental thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Wild Horse is here.
Wild Horse, hey!
Wild Horse!
Give us a question to answer. Hope you're feeling better.
It is like 100 years past my bedtime.
Yeah.
100 years?
If Wild Horse, we can count to like 15, or just ramble for like 10 seconds. And if Wild Horse doesn't give us a question, then we can just pick the last question. So.
Or we could just pick one while she's working that out.
Okay.
I'll try and do one real quick. Where is this?
I was originally going to end it after 3, but we had Patreons that were giving questions.
I have that I really liked, and now I lost it. It's in the list. Been lost in the list. It's in the list of losing those questions. Why? Oh no.
I want to see a space dungeon.
A space dungeon?
Yeah, with like no gravity. Like in
it's late, you can't think.
The fire temple in Twilight Princess where it like sucks you up to the thing. Like if there was some sort of anti-gravity.
You want to see more of those aliens that are stealing cows?
Yeah, or like in...
Yeah. Well, the closest we've gotten is like using the iron boots on the magnetic floors in the Goron mines. That's probably the closest to kind of that concept, but yes. Okay, Gus did actually send us a question. He's also on our Patreon list, so I'll just we'll grab this one here. I distinguished them in our list because I have them highlighted in blue, but Gus's was purple, so maybe that's my bad. But Gus says, this is a random question. What principles of hydraulic or mechanical engineering do divine beasts work with? Or another question, as I'm probably going to be at work on the next podcast, what economical principles do you think can be applied to the Pokemon world to make it sustainable? So this is 2 questions, I guess. How do the divine beasts mechanically work? And what do we think about the economic principles of the Pokemon world? So I'm going to start here with hydraulics. I am so not good at this stuff, but we know the Sheikah technology is like very advanced, and we kind of do see a lot of it runs on like enormous gears and stuff like that. So I think the actual blue energy, they use like blue fire as their energy source, because we see you have to light the furnaces, like the ancient furnaces, with this blue fire. So some sort of very renewable energy in blue fire that also melts red ice. And economical principles, probably a lot in Pokemon, probably a lot more relying on Pokemon rather than machinery. For example, we see like ride Pokemon in Pokemon Sun and Moon, I guess, but that's not very economical. But they use them for transportation. That's Guys, I'm really stretching here.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting question for me, because when I think about, like, especially, like, living in the world of Pokemon, like, I feel like
You live in the world
they
of
have their
Pokemon?
lives together.
Yeah, everybody's all happy, living off the land and happy about it.
Yeah! People
Pokemon
live off
help
the
them.
land, they pick berries, and they just, like, feed them to their animal, and their Pokemon, and themselves, like...
But if you make eye contact,
Then you
have
must
to
battle.
They ain't got no care. Divine Beasts, I know nothing about hydraulics or literally anything about a machine.
Yeah. It makes me
I'd say
wonder...
like maybe like a time shift stone or something to help it operate, because I feel like that did a lot of moving thingies in Skyward Sword, but that's all I can think of.
Because all the ancient robots.
Yeah.
They were robots.
So I think, like, I don't think there's, like, some of them have like certain gears or hydraulic pumps and like stuff that you can manually control, but a lot of what they do, it seems like they do it for themselves. Like, there's not necessarily a control room, there's like the control pedestal, but it seems like you don't necessarily have to control it. The magic that the Sheikah uses or whatever technology they use, it's almost like the divine beasts can kind of do whatever it is they need to do by
Well, yeah, because you see them
themselves.
like walking around on their own and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just
But-
like Ganon makes them evil to where they'll attack or whatever. But if they're on their own, then they just like do whatever they are programmed to do or whatever they want to do. And then when it's time to battle, it's like the champion actually has to actively do something for it to work. But otherwise, it's almost like it has its own like AI or consciousness, to where it's like, I need to keep my propeller spinning so I can stay
And you
in
see
the
the way
air.
like the champions talk to their divine beast. Like you see Mifo talking to Vauruta specifically, as if it has a mind of its own. Although people do that in real life, like with their cars and stuff, but whatever. But like, it does sort of imply there's some more intelligence to the machine itself. And I think that's sort of that pedestal, that control pedestal, like it has this enormous thing behind it, and I always assume that's something of like a brain for the divine beast, you know?
Yeah.
The big control terminal. That was my thing. That's... Yeah.
I like what Abigail said, Temple of the Heavens, for like a space kind of themed dungeon. They could have done Temple of the Heavens for the ancient or the city in the sky, because it's like above the clouds and stuff. So that name could have worked for it, but I don't know.
I think the Tower of the Gods is probably the closest thematically to that.
Or the Temple of Light, or Temple of Time in Twilight Princess, whatever you call it, but it technically would be the Temple of Light, I guess.
Yeah.
In Twilight
George.
Princess. Yeah.
I think George in the chat has like answered Gus's question here. Vauruta uses hydraulics to move. Varudania takes heat from the volcano, so it's geothermal energy, I guess. Valmetto uses aerodynamic principles to stay afloat. Vanaboros produces energy, because it's like electric themed. So
You guys are too smart for me. I didn't do anything after I graduated.
Me neither. It's okay. So I tried a career in stand up and it didn't work either. So
I think
by career I mean 3 sets, but that's not a career.
that's all of our questions, right?
Well, we still have a huge backlog of a list, but that's I think all that's all of our Patreon questions. And
We answered more than we normally do tonight, so...
we did. We got through quite a few. There's still some. We still have a backlog to get through, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I wanted to... Sorry.
Hmm?
I was going to say I wanted to end the podcast like an hour ago, but I felt bad because we hadn't answered questions at all for the past couple of weeks because we just rushed to do the podcasts. And
Yeah.
then we had like the Patreon questions that didn't get answered. And So like, yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to
getcha.
do them. But yeah, does anyone else have any final things?
I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, everyone already knows I'm not streaming this week because I am house sitting.
All right.
That's all I got.
So, Choobs, go ahead and tell people who you are, and next week or the week after when you can get back to streaming, where can they watch you?
Yes! I am Chublima. I come and hang out on the podcast whenever I'm actually free and available and my camera's in focus. Come on, what's going on here? Yeah, podcast I try to be on if my life permits, and you can find me on Twitter at Chublima, which I spend a majority of my time actually active on. I don't use any other social media really. And you can find me on Twitch at Chublima with an extra A because I suck at life and now I'm looking at a reflection of myself. And yeah, so not this week, but next week after the Monday I can come back to streaming Twilight Princess because I finally fixed what was going on with it, and we can continue on from there. That's
All right. Where can people find you on the Twitter?
I already said my Twitter.
Did you?
Yeah!
All right. Daniel, where can people find you?
Guys!
I don't know why we're doing this.
Every time I try to talk, you guys are very weird about it.
I'm sorry.
Tell you
we're
what,
just-
I'm
we're
gonna
weird.
do you one better. There you go.
There we go.
Camera. There we
No,
go.
Yes.
I'm trying to
There we
show
go.
reflections.
I'm trying to show you my
I
Joy-Con.
Hey now, take me to dinner first.
Well, wait, hang on. We got the spectrum here. We've got like
Wait, I can...
you've got matte,
Ah!
transparent, and Jesse is glossy. So we're
I just
just
have an entire switch here.
We
It's
just
the
got the
Triforce of Triforce of texture.
yeah. So, but hi everybody. I'm Daniel. You can find me on the places. I do this podcast all the times with Jesse, and you can please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at Capt Burgerson, CaptBurgerson. I typically stream on Twitch Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings around 10 o'clock Pacific time. We've been streaming all the Zeldas. We did Zelda 1, 2, Link to the Past. We're on Ocarina of Time. We're really close to finishing that game. And yes, that's where I am. That's my existence right now. Still working out if streaming this week will work for me, actually. I'm still determining that because my son's on spring break, and normally I stream on my days off when he's in school, and he's not in school. So I also want to spend some time with that child. So we'll see what happens there with how he's doing that day, or if what he wants to do. Well, I'm working it out, but yes, we'll see you hopefully on Twitch one of those days. Otherwise, tune in next week for this podcast. That's me. That's good.
And you have your own YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I always forget to promote that. You've probably seen me in the chat, NSHG Films. That's on my YouTube channel. You can see the Zelda video that Jesse talked about earlier in this podcast, where I rant a little bit about the Zelda timeline. But yeah, that's. I also have a website, burgersonmedia.com.
All of the things!
I have too many things. I just need to focus on, I have too much going on. I just gotta narrow it down, I think.
Consolidate.
Consolidate. That's the word. And Jesse, who are you? What do you do?
I am sleepy.
Me too.
You can find me at Sleepy Jesse. No, I am GameOverJesse. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. Everything is GameOverJesse or /GameOverJesse. I'm really tired, people. I apologize. But it was really fun to have a full podcast again. So thank you to the... Currently it says 26 people watching, but earlier it got up to like 40-ish people. So thank you to everyone watching around midnight or past midnight if you are where I am. So yeah, thanks for spending the past 3 or so hours for us. I don't even know how long we've been going. Let's see here.
A while. You know, we started
almost
at like
3 hours, 2:53.
Almost 3 hours. Not the longest we've ever gone.
Yeah. All right. My future kids will love Zelda. I hope so, Keyblade Master.
I hope. If you love Zelda, odds are they will. Honestly, that's just children love things by osmosis. So
thank you, George. Thank you, David. Thank you, Keyblade Master, Wild Horse 64, Retro Gaming, George, Abigail, Stakona, Zelda Master John, everyone else.
I saw Nintendo Prime in the chat earlier too.
Oh.
He disappeared, I think, but it's always good to see Nate.
All right.
Pop in.
Thank you everyone for watching. Go follow Tubes and Mr. D, Daniel, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.